And welcome back to Kings of Influence. I am one half of your hosting team, Ray William Johnson.
Over here across the table, I'm the other half, Epic Lloyd, and we're here every Wednesday at noon
That's
Pacific Standard Time. And we have a number for you if you want to get a notification from us when we're about to go live. Please text the word Kings to 43506. We just shot that text out now, so hopefully y'all got it that needed it. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to get notifications on YouTube and the other things these days. And sometimes we get buried or you get buried. So we want a direct heartline right to you people. So text the word Kings to 43506 and we'll give you the shout out.
Was that a fidget spinner in your hand?
Dude, I have the mad fidget spinner right now.
I had one in my bag, too. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right?
I think I might be
2017 all over again.
Yeah, I feel sometimes like I'm probably like, I mean, maybe people say you're on the spectrum or whatever. I think there's a part of me that might be something.
Definitely.
And this definitely, you think so? Or maybe it's the opposite. Like whatever autism is that makes you focus, I think I might be the opposite of that, where I'm like, and these things just, it really works for me, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just like, it settles me down somehow.
When we used to go on these long road trips to do stand-up and stuff, I would play with mine in the car.
Yeah.
And it would really get me over that boredom. And because, you get like fidgety in the car after a few hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
stuff.
Right
Cool
on.
story, bro.
True story. True story.
Super duper cool story. Well, guys, it's good to be back. We got a good show for you this week. We're going to talk a little bit about some R. Kelly. We're going to talk about that college scandal, and we're going to take some calls from you guys. We also have Katy in the studio with us today on sound.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
What up, Katy?
KT.
We are.
Let's talk about the R. Kelly thing, because we just watched that video.
Yeah, we just.
Not that video. Not that tape.
Unsubscribe.
Different tape.
So R. Kelly did an interview this week with Gayle
King.
Gayle King from CBS, I believe, and it was the first time he was able to speak about the situation, or the accusations, I should say. And let's just say the interview was colorful at best, or at worst, or that's the best word I could use to describe it.
He flew off the handle.
He flew off the goddamn handle.
He went nuts.
Yeah. He was very emotional. He addressed the camera directly, which doesn't help his case, I think what I wanted to discuss, today is like, A, do you think he still did it? Do you think this helps him or hurts him?
Yes, and hurts him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after you get like a small number of accusations with me to where I'll go, yeah, but it's alleged, it's just an accusation. Anyone can accuse anyone of anything. And then you hit that threshold of like 5, 6, 7 accusations of the same thing. And I go, yeah, you know what? There's a narrative here.
Yeah.
Being built, and you're on the business end of that.
Yeah. Trying to get like 7 people even to do, like 7 people can't decide on what to order at Chipotle.
Yeah.
So how are they going to individually decide on to how to make one big elaborate lie about somebody and then stick to it under pressure and scrutiny by law enforcement and the judicial system? Like, that's just not going to happen, I just love how he was like, it takes a certain amount of ego to be a superstar like that, like in the music business, you have to be egocentric. But he was so egotistical that he's like, I'm not even going to talk to the host anymore. I'm just going to talk to the camera.
He just started vlogging in the middle of the interview.
Yeah. I've never seen anybody do that.
That's gangster as hell.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do that sometime.
I have to give it to him. He was original. It was entertaining. It was entertaining as hell. I think I have a bit of vindictiveness in me. I'm like, suffer, bitch. I just suffer. I hope you're crying. I hope this hurts.
It does look like he's losing it.
Yeah.
It looks like he knows he's gonna spend some time in jail, and he's kind of losing his head over it. He's losing his cool.
I think when you're that twisted, you believe your own lies.
Mm-hmm.
And you believe your own rationale of what the actual truth is and what you think it should be. Like, no, it was really love. Like the Michael Jackson thing was like, it was really love. No one can really understand the love that I have for my lost childhood and you. Like that. Like he made up some story in his head and then just believes it so hard that he can be emotional.
And the funny thing is, we do understand it.
Yeah.
It's just not in the way that he does. We understand that love. We know exactly what it is.
You're a pedophile.
Yeah, it's your brain has been like sort of cross-wired with things that you either got too much of or lacked in your childhood are now mixed in with your sexual attraction.
Yeah.
Uh
It's
and
weird.
and now your brain's all screwy.
It's sad because it's probably a fact that he was abused as a child. I think that circle of abuse happens, and
R. Kelly definitely was.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you feel sympathetic for that part of his life,
Mhm.
early childhood, and it sucks because you think with the right help, he might have avoided this pain that he's caused other people, but he didn't never got that help or never got that counseling or whatever. How do you untie that knot in somebody's brain? A lot of counseling.
Well, there's a difference between having a knot in your brain and the action you take because of that knot.
Yeah.
Like if I had if I were threatened by a district attorney with prison if I ever like masturbated again or something, guess what I wouldn't do?
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch myself.
You wouldn't get caught masturbating.
No, but that's it. But what I'm saying is you can be messed up and not take the action.
Yeah.
You can be you can find your your cousin's wife sexually attractive and not reach out to grab her ass. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. There are urges inside of a person that must be insanely hard to fight on your own, though.
Yeah.
Like just because that's a rational thought. But especially if you mix it with drugs and alcohol, rationale just goes out the door. It becomes a emotional impulse.
Well, then stop. Well, then don't mix it with drugs and alcohol. Then don't do drugs and don't drink. If you're facing hard time in prison, you have to weigh your options. You have to look at that and go, which sounds more of a personal hell, sitting in prison or not having a drink on my birthday or in New Year's like I normally do.
Yeah. Not getting to fondle this 14-year-old girl.
Exactly.
That sounds like. But that's the thing. Like, the threat of prison is everywhere. If you kill somebody, you'll go to prison. If you drive drunk, you'll go to prison. If you touch a 14-year-old, you'll go to prison. So that gets muted because I've done things that you might go to prison for.
How many 14-year-olds?
No. But you're not thinking of it that way because you're calculating that risk and just like shuffling it in with everything else. Now what he's doing is it's just so taboo. It's just so outside of the normal of like, yeah, if you like don't pay parking tickets for a long enough time, you can get called to, jail or get crazy fines. Or if you run your credit card, there's stupid things that people do all the time. Hey man, if I don't pay off this credit card, it's going to cripple me with debt.
Right.
You just do it anyway sometimes. Some people are like that.
Some people like the thrill.
Like the thrill, yeah, that's what it is.
But I would like to point out that he was on trial for this before. So he went through kind of at least a 1 or 2 year window of a personal hell of being on the cusp of being sent to prison. And for me, even if you did have that I want to live on the edge personality, that would put you in check. That would make you go, oh shit, this is real. People do get in trouble for this.
Right.
Maybe I got off once, but I'm not. That's too risky.
Yeah, but that's you're a sane person.
Yes, I am sane. I am rational.
Yeah, he's not a sane person.
No.
He did these things, and it doesn't like a serial killer. If they don't get caught, or they almost get caught, they kill again. Unless you control them. I just dig that like he was so emotional, and his outburst was so. It looked like a bad Oscar nomination clip. You know what I mean? It looked like that could have been Jamie Foxx as R. Kelly.
Right.
Which, by the way, if they do the biography, it should definitely be.
He's got to do it.
It should be Jamie
He's got to
Foxx.
do it.
And it just looked like in his mind, he's like, "This is your moment. Believe you can fly."
Like when he stood up, the music starts playing.
I believe I can fly. Yeah, man. Like he's kicking over chairs and stuff. We were listening really briefly to the body language videos about it, and those are fascinating to me. I don't know if they're true or bullshit because I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But when they say it, it sounds right. Like he's like walking around that room like a caged animal. Like if there weren't cameras in there and stuff, he might have punched somebody, which doesn't help your case.
No, not typically.
No.
No. Punch the reporter.
Yeah. What are the big R. Kelly songs? I Believe I Can Fly.
Remix the remix.
Hot in the kitchen.
Yeah, whatever that song is. I just know the Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. I'm all pissed on you.
Yeah. You know the songs, Katie?
Well, I mean, one that might be relevant for this was "Trapped in the Closet." Do
Yeah,
you guys
that's
remember
right.
that?
Yeah.
And I
Also-
Believe I Can Fly, of course.
Also didn't help his case doing a whole video series called Trapped in the Closet.
I
When-
mean, really.
when
Could
you're
you be-
Also
we're
wrote
on
a
the
song,
nose.
Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
Yeah. Jeez.
What I was going to ask you guys is how you feel about Gayle King and how she did in this interview when he was flipping out, because I was really impressed with her.
She didn't flinch.
Yeah. I think that Robert is going to be a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Robert.
Just to calm people down. Robert.
I didn't know his
Robert.
name was Robert. It makes sense. I guess his name is Robert
It's
Kelly.
not R.
Yeah. R. Robert. I mean, she in her brain, she's like, yes. Just she
Yeah.
knows it's good TV.
Well, that's every reporter wants that. Every reporter wants their subject to flip out,
yeah.
go crazy, say something off the wall or weird or controversial.
Yeah.
That's in fact the I'm told the lower you get on the food chain of reporters, when you as a personality go and talk to them, the more likely they are to try and put you in those moments, to try
Yeah.
and ask you the controversial thing or whatever.
What I do know about reporters is that you can't trust them.
Not at all.
Because he's like, there's these two cases that we said beforehand we can't talk about because they're in trial right now, which is a legitimate reason why
Yes.
you can't talk about something.
Yes.
But don't trust her not to bring it up. Why would you ever do that?
No.
You have to assume she's going to bring it up.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do then? But yeah, she was calm, cool, collected, but she was also surrounded by people in that room, you know.
Mhm.
What could he really do? Punch her? Hit her?
If I were in an
That would just make
interview
her stronger.
like that, I would say, "Cool, can I film it too?"
Yeah.
Just so I can have the full version that
Yeah.
you don't edit.
Yeah. Well, he's probably getting paid. So they're like, well,
I was told he's broke, by the way.
which
now.
is probably why he's doing the interview.
Yeah.
You know, getting paid for it. I wonder how much those interviews pay people. You know, because why did he do CBS versus Oprah or any of the other 60 Minutes or 2020 or whatever the hell it is? Why did he probably chose CBS because they paid him the most?
I would assume so. Or he trusted that reporter. That's another reason.
You fool. You fool. He is gonna do hard time.
Poor R. Kelly's such a victim.
Man. I mean, what does it sound like when R. Kelly sings in the shower of prison? Do people just stop fighting and shanking each other?
And then go over and start shanking him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't take
I don't want
kindly
to say I hope so, because that's...
It's vindictive. But
Yeah.
you feel that, though.
I feel like we're living in a world where scumbags aren't exactly being punished in the way that you would like them to. Like suddenly we're not living in as just of a society as we would all like. And so when you see something like this, you go, yeah, I want there to be consequences for
Yeah.
this.
I will say that I've been talking about your theory, which is the sort of music version of the Harvey Weinstein.
Yes, the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
The music version of the Me Too movement
And
happening soon.
I think you're absolutely right. I think we're about to watch a whole bunch of dominoes fall. And I think the next person that is gonna be, or maybe the next 5, you're gonna be like, what? You know, it'd be like the lead singer of Weezer or something. You know, just like Rivers Cuomo just has like bodies in his basement. Or
Like
something.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, totally.
Sheryl Crow is just a total
evil.
hound.
Yeah, totally. So Kenny G's just a rapist.
What do you got, Katie?
Well, I feel like the music version of Me Too already happened with Kesha and Dr. Luke. Do you guys remember that case?
Yeah, but there wasn't like a big reckoning, like a big industry-wide reckoning, I would say. Like
No,
that
it was
one
disappointing
case.
as a woman to see that it didn't like cause.
Did he get convicted or was he acquitted?
He
I
was
think it's still up in the air. I have to look. 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing about that, and it was before the whole Me Too movement started. It felt
when I say Me Too movement, I think you mean the same thing, where there's like a half a week on Twitter where all of these musicians and musical acts are getting called out with hashtag Me Too and stories about their actions.
Yeah.
against women. Their
Yeah.
sexual harassment, their sexual assault, all that stuff. I think that's coming at some point, and it's starting with it's starting now with Michael Jackson and R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Update, just because I Wikipedia'd this so it could be accurate. In April 2016, the judge dismissed all of her abuse claims
Wow.
after all the
Well, what do you?
evidence, and then she dropped the charges in August of 2016, and then March 2017, the judge refused to amend her original case, saying that she entered into a contract, and so basically he's
Oh, they settled out of court.
no charges.
They settled out of court.
I it doesn't say that, but it just basically says, that she dropped the charges.
Okay.
Oh, well, if she entered into a contract, that would, to me, say they settled out of court. And
No. The
She had an original
the
contract.
contract was the
during
original
time. Yeah.
contract. So part of the contention with that case, if I remember correctly, is that she wanted out of her contract
because
and
of this. Aha.
well, depending on who you believe, she wanted out of her contract. His party said, no, you're in a contract. If you make music under the name Kesha, we get royalties. And she said, well, I've been sexually abused by the head of this sub label or whatever, or my producer. And so I went out of the contract.
Which, if he was convicted, would have been a perfectly good reason to break the contract.
Well, I guess not according to the judge.
No, because the guy got let off.
No. What I'm saying is the judge didn't feel that it was enough to let her out of her contract.
Just the accusation.
Sure, the case.
But if he was convicted, I bet it would have gotten let off.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, but he wasn't. So
Could you imagine if you could write that into a contract? Nothing will break this contract. You could get raped by your producer. He could go to jail for it, but you still got to make music with us. There's definitely contracts like that. I'm sure. Just
I think it came down to how they handle. I read a lot about this case a few years ago, and I think it came down to how they handled it. I think it came down to the label offering her other opportunities, other people to work with, something to that extent that really gave them a stronger argument.
Right.
Of you have to finish this contract. Yeah. Maybe not with this guy, but you have to finish it. But I'm probably bastardizing the case.
Yeah.
And all the details.
Well, she obviously wasn't able to prove that he did it, which, if it happened, it sucks.
And I think they had a long relationship during all of this too.
Which romantic?
Yeah, which also complicates all the arguments.
Yeah. Don't shit where you sleep, people.
Yeah, that's right.
Hasn't anyone ever told you that? Don't shit where you sleep. Don't date people you work with. That's like the easiest rule. Don't bring 14-year-olds down in your basement and chain them to a radiator. And don't date people you work with. It always ends up bad.
I'm with you on half that. I wouldn't date anyone I work with, but
yeah.
Just for the record, they didn't date. Dr. Luke, his tweet was, I didn't rape Kesha and I have never had sex with her. Kesha and I were friends for many years and she was like my little sister. That's his claim. And her claim was that he raped her.
Oh, they didn't date at all? I thought they had a thing.
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just saying
That's what he
said.
tweeted.
Okay.
The tweet must be true. Believe the tweets. Man.
So
R. Kelly is now fighting for his life. And he has kids. Isn't that crazy that he has kids? How many kids does he have? Probably a bunch.
Seems like it.
Yeah. He probably has, I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but I feel like he's probably got a lot.
He has 3.
Okay.
That's average.
Yeah.
That's
What's your
average.
point? So
my point is that it's scary that he's a father.
Yeah.
I feel for those kids and how twisted that must be to them. Do you believe your father? Do you not? Were they victims of their father themselves or not? They're the real victims.
And when there's kids involved in that kind of situation, I feel like it's important for them to see him go through all the hardship, including going to prison, so that they grow up knowing that there are consequences.
Yeah.
For certain actions.
Yeah. I don't know how traumatic that would be. Like, look at your dad.
Not any more traumatic than your dad being accused of it and getting away with it.
If you knew he did it.
Yeah.
Imagine you knew
the
he
whole
did
thing
it.
is traumatic. First of all.
Yeah.
The whole thing is traumatic for the children of
I think you should have to fill out an application to have kids. You need more paperwork to go in a trampoline park than to have a kid. It's ridiculous. Like somebody told me that last night. It was really funny what she said. But it's true. You fill out more paperwork to like skydive than to have a child. They'll let anybody have a kid. You can't like go buy a beer unless you're 21 years old. But you can have a kid at 14.
Yeah, but so if your application didn't get approved, then people would just go do it illegally. And then you have an illegal kid.
No, man. You get your tubes tied at birth, and they undo them.
Ooh.
I'm down. Let's do it.
When Lloyd starts his own country.
Yeah, bro. Watch us rise to the top. We'll all rise to the top.
It goes one generation because no one gets approved for childbirth.
Yeah, that's just bad luck. There's going to be casualties. We'll get cull the herd. Thanos was right.
Oh,
Thanos
my God.
was right. Yeah, man. Maybe you just tie everybody's tubes, and yeah, fuck it. We'll make it the dudes. Yeah.
It's up to the dudes.
We'll make it the dudes. We'll tie the tubes of the dudes. Dude
yeah,
tubes.
you can get a reverse.
We'll tie your dude tubes.
You get a reverse vasectomy, right?
Yeah, you can, but
okay.
But you got to really earn that, and
you gotta
and
earn it.
You apply, and it'll be just like applying for college. You'll have to like prove cool shit you've done. You know, you built a camp, you identified all the trees in your neighborhood, and like made little signs for people to enjoy nature.
Right. You joined the Peace Corps for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You volunteered down at the shelter.
Yeah, did a soup kitchen. Oh yeah, you could be a dad. But if you've you're addicted to drugs, no. If any charges against you being brought, no, you're denied. You can't bring into this world.
What if you had a bunch of platinum albums?
Indifferent.
And wrote the soundtrack for Space Jam.
The only thing that helps is that you're financially stable, hopefully. So that's a good check mark. But
so you would have approved R. Kelly.
No, not based on that alone. You have to go through strict. He also has to do push-ups. Okay. You have to be physically fit. You have to be able to climb up a rope. You also have to be
This took a weird turn.
No, you have to be physically fit. You have to be able to do 30 push-ups to have a kid. That's how much you have to carry. A baby's heavy, man. What if you drop that kid? What if you don't want to carry it in the right situation because your arms are not strengthful?
So what about the one-armed man?
Have
kids?
No, there's men who could do one-arm push-ups. Those guys can do push-ups, man. Those guys, don't count those guys
and climb
out.
A rope?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You're losing me.
Yeah.
You're losing me on this.
It's falling apart?
Yeah, it's falling apart at the seams.
Well, I just think there should be stipulations.
That I know that's eugenics and such, but there's a big part of me that's like
what if you have? What if you know you're gonna
procreated?
What if you know you're gonna die in 6 months?
Okay.
But you want to have a kid? Like, who's really benefiting from that? You or the kid? Like, is that for you because you want to spread your seed and like feel something inside of you? But like, you're about to have a kid who's got no dad. Like, that sucks.
So you wouldn't let that guy have a kid?
No.
Okay. I don't know if those guys are scrambling to have kids, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if someone like, the Walter White of the world who gets cancer and, they tell him he's only got a few months to live. I don't think he's like, fuck, we got to have another kid real quick.
You never know, man. Some people might want to.
No, he sells meth.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't be discriminated on race, sexual orientation. You wouldn't be discriminated on, handicaps unless that was just part of, it would be other things.
It would be a class thing.
It would be not a class thing. No, your money would help the situation, but not be completely dependent upon that. You just have to pass a bunch of tests, and then we average them all out. All right, you're with me on this, right, Katie? You're with me on that.
I'm like half and half.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
See?
So the thing about the wanting. Okay, well, can you do 30 push-ups and climb a rope?
Of course I can.
Okay.
Of course I can.
Okay.
How dare you?
I mean, you also don't have kids. So.
And don't want them.
Okay. I just think there are a lot of people who are disabled out there who maybe can't do that, but they do want to have kids.
Fair.
Like, what if they're in a wheelchair and that,
We can make stipulations. We'll make stipulations.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'll bend on that.
That's my stipulation. And I think the rest of it, yeah, like there are stupid people out there making babies every day, and it's rough, but I don't know what we can do to stop that. It's kind of like weird to put rules on it.
Yeah, it is. But I'm here to do it.
Right. That also implies that stupid people have been breeding for generations. And we're the result of that. Us and
Yeah,
all
my
of
parents might
society
not have
right
passed.
now.
My parents may not have passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was a mistake.
Yeah.
Right. But go back further than that.
You're a blessing.
Like,
you were a
Thank you,
blessing.
thank you, Lloyd. Thank you.
centuries ago, people got together and had a bunch of dumbass kids, and those dumbasses had kids, and then those dumbasses kids had kids, had kids, had kids, had kids, and now here we are. We are far removed from the original
Dumbasses.
idiots who chose to have children but shouldn't have. Should have
But
been
some people
qualified.
make great parents. Some people are completely qualified to have children, and that's what they want, and they set their life up
Yeah,
for
and those
that.
people are smart, and they stop at like 1 or 2 or have none.
That's what I'm saying. Then the polar ice caps don't melt. You have more panda bears. Like, everything works out better.
The problem is a lot of smart people just don't want to have kids because they've thought it through and they realize that it might be a bad idea.
You're helping my company.
Yeah.
You're
Are you in the I'm going to have kids pool?
I am, but I'm a smart person, so it's weird.
Get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of kids, let's talk about the college scam
Oh my God.
that's in the news. So, Lori Loughlin and what was the other girl's name? Felicity. What was the name? Katie?
Huffman.
Felicity
Yeah.
Huffman. So Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, they're actresses, and they got busted in this scam where they were paying money to sort of get their kids into colleges that they weren't qualified for. And this scam is bigger than those two actresses. Okay, so one of the actresses is on Desperate Housewives. The other one was Aunt Becky on Full House. I don't know if you ever saw Full House.
Aunt Becky. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse's girl.
Yeah. So Aunt Becky
No.
Aunt Becky has 2 daughters, 16 and 18.
Can she do 30 push-ups?
I doubt it. But her husband, also famous, is Massimo.
Massimo?
Massimo was it used to be like a cool skater brand, and then they went and became a Target brand of clothing. Mossimo, Massimo.
And he created that?
Yeah,
I never heard of
it's
that guy.
incredibly. I mean, it's huge.
Oh, okay. See how much I shop.
Yeah, I'd say it was like back when we were teenagers. It was like a sort of a skater slacker brand.
Okay, cool.
That's how I remember it. And then they got into Target, and they sort of became like more of a family brand. Anyway, they're killing it. And then Hoffman, yes, Felicity Huffman. She's married to William H. Macy.
Oh, okay. And is she an actor herself? You said she's in
Desperate Housewives.
Is that really? It's a show. It's
So
a
there's
show.
this whole scam going on where these people will take rich people's money, and then they will help get their kids into colleges that they aren't qualified for, and they'll help them cheat on SATs. They'll take the tests for them.
Whoa.
They will fudge their athletic records. Sometimes they'll Photoshop their kids into athletic pictures, and stuff like that to like really. And they'll pay people off, like all kinds of stuff. Like 50 people were indicted in this, and 2 of them happen to be famous actors.
And what kind of schools?
Like Yale was on the list.
Yeah.
The
Ivy League ones.
But not all of them.
DeVry? Somebody got.
Yeah, exactly. USC was the one that that Aunt Becky's daughter was going to. The one of them's 16, so she can't go in yet.
Yeah.
But the other one is actually in USC. And here's the thing. I forget her name, but she is an influencer. She makes Instagram stuff and YouTube videos and stuff.
Her name's Olivia Jade.
Okay.
How old is
So-
she?
18.
Yeah.
Wow. So Olivia is at USC, and her mom just got arrested for this scam of getting her in.
So this was like an FBI kind of like
It was huge.
They must have been digging this up for a
Yeah.
long time, and then they finally pulled the trigger on it. And
Well, they busted the guy running the scam, and then he gave all the
he
dirt.
just sang like
Yeah.
a canary.
Mhm.
I believe I can fly.
Yeah,
He gave up. So they were like clients of his, essentially.
basically.
You know what? That makes. I'm not surprised.
I'm not either.
At all. College admissions and like the pressure from parents to go to college and the shit you have to do to get into college, and who knows if it's even worth it, is nuts, man. And it's all about who you know and alumni.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between that and someone who's just been an alumni of Harvard
Well,
for like 50 generations? You
That's
know?
a good question. So Jared Kushner, the right hand to the president, he went to Harvard,
right.
and right before he got in, his dad
donated
a $2.5 million building
Yeah.
to Harvard. Now, that happens. I'm not picking on Kushner. That happens all the time. But what's the difference between that and this admission scam? One is official and one is not?
Yeah, I mean, if you're I that's exactly where my mind went as well. Like, what's the difference between just donating for years and years and years and being invested in a university and scamming the system? They probably felt like it was so so skewed against them that you have to do something
Then
drastic.
go to a lesser school. Go to a school you're qualified to go to.
But maybe they are qualified. You know what I mean? Like
No, they're not. If you're qualified, you don't have to Photoshop fucking pictures of yourself rowing crew.
and winning.
Right, when you've never rowed crew. Sorry, Katie, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say there's a big difference between donating a building versus doing this because they're committing fraud. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So at least if you're buying the building at the school, you're just fair and square publicly buying a building.
You're just publicly lobbying for
Yeah,
your family.
the only difference between that is the law. The law says you can do one of these things. The law says you can't do another one of these things.
There's no moral like quandary about photoshopping your child's face onto a picture to say that they were rowing.
There definitely is. Right, but
Yeah.
there definitely is. The other problem that I have, and probably a lot of people have, is if your kid got in because you donated a $2.5 million building when he otherwise would not have gotten in.
No, absolutely. I guess it's just one involves lies, and at least the other one, it's like, well, I just gave money to the school.
Right, and the lies are because one is against the law. That's my point. The only difference in those two things is the law says one of them is okay, therefore the school says one of them is okay, and the other one you have to lie about.
Yeah, and so that's the example. They photoshopped somebody's face into a crew picture,
That was one example. They also faked pictures. They had other people take tests for them. They gave them answers. Like, so it's
And have
apparently an easy thing to do. So I'll be like, hey, UCLA, my boy Lloyd wants to go, my boy Lloyd wants to take the SAT, but he's got a learning disability. So we need a proctor to come to our house and take it.
Have they proven?
And then they pay the proctor off.
Right. Have they proven that the universities weren't involved?
The universities, USC anyway, fired the two people involved like yesterday. The story came out at like 2.
Yeah.
Those guys got fired at like 2:30.
Story comes out 2:15.
There's no way. So is the university involved? Yes and no.
Because I would.
So officially no, but like, is there a coach on the side who's probably taking some money? Yeah, and he probably got fired.
Right. But do I believe that an admissions official would take a bribe? Hell yeah, I do.
They would. I mean,
Hell
they were.
yeah, I do.
They clearly were.
Yeah.
Or this wouldn't have been a scandal.
Well, that's where I was asking, because if they forge the applications to make the applicants look super, super ideal,
Mm-hmm.
then the administrators are like, oh, wow, look at this applicant. They're great. Let's let them in. That's different than them taking some money on the side to stamp yes on it when they shouldn't be doing it.
So that's the thing. If the colleges were, let's say, in on it, they probably wouldn't have had to have faked all this stuff like they did. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you and I are robbing a bank, I don't have to hold you up at gunpoint.
Right. But I will say, I'm gonna make a prediction right now that some of the schools are in on it.
Again, I would say not like the full school, but like one dude on the side
who's not like a president
who's taking money, whereas the school has an official policy sort of against it. I doubt any of these schools look the other way. A school gets a lot out of a $2.5 million building. Most of these scams were for $10,000, $15,000.
Right.
Some of them went up to $500,000, and I think the biggest one was $1.6 million.
What they got bribed with?
Yeah, that was what someone paid.
$1.5 million to get their son or daughter
into one of the
probably
schools.
Yale or something like that.
Probably.
I mean, I think it's going to be. I think that the admissions board somebody's going to get nailed.
Yeah, they
Somebody
should.
in there is going to get. They would never. It would never be a part of the official colleges or universities like policy to accept that. That's ridiculous. But somebody in there, somebody higher up.
Yeah.
So I just looked this up. At least at USC, Donna Heinel, Henel. I don't know.
No.
Sorry, I don't know how to say her name. It's the senior associate athletic director at USC. She received more than $1.3 million in bribes and pushed through the admissions of several of William Singer's clients. William Singer is the guy who was
Right.
like the admissions consultant who didn't work for the school, who would just receive stuff.
And she was the head athletic director?
Senior associate athletic director.
Right.
And as far as Lori Loughlin's daughter, she paid for $500K
What?
Yeah.
to William Singer to get her into USC.
To USC.
No, to the admissions guy,
Right.
the
Right.
consultant.
So that because I went to school for athletics, and that is an easy route.
Mhm.
If you're good at something, like you could get, they could bring her on to the crew team or whatever, get the scholarship or get the money to get her in, and then once you're in, whether or not you play
Yeah.
is not really like she could have extra slots where like, look, I need 15 people on crew. I got 2 backups that are probably never going to see competition. They'll never see the light of day. They're just there for practice or whatever. I'll push those ones through for $500K.
Okay, I'll do you one further. The Aunt Becky's daughter may not even get kicked out. We don't know. Are they going to throw her out? Did she even know that her parents were doing this?
Yeah,
Can they prove that?
That's really hard.
It's super tough. She's 18 years old.
I mean,
And
I don't think they should be able to. Well, I don't know about that. If she's 18 years old, I mean she's just 18.
Yeah.
Which means she's a minor before that.
right.
Which
I mean,
she
she's
can't
probably
really be-
still in her freshman year.
Yeah. I feel like that kid is just that's just collateral damage. That kid probably thought she did great, and did what she needed to do to get in. And then she comes to find out like her parents don't even trust her enough to like actually get in.
So because she's an influencer, they found some old vlogs of her talking about college. They were playing this on the news yesterday. Ironically, she was talking about how she wants to go to college for like the party experience and some other stuff, but she doesn't really care about school.
Oh my God.
I know, it was almost like too perfect.
Oh my God. Aunt Becky. No. What's Aunt Becky done since Full House? Or can you just ride the rest of your career off Full House?
Scammed her kids into college.
Right.
That's what she's done.
Her and Jesse, Uncle Jesse.
She's been in every Hallmark Channel movie
Yeah.
since then.
yeah,
And now
yeah.
what are they going to do?
What's Hallmark Channel going to do?
They're going to it's going to be Orange is the New Black with Aunt Becky.
Oh my God. How embarrassing.
Full Big House.
Hey.
Man.
How embarrassing. Like, so if you're that daughter and you're an influencer, so her life is online, well, I'm wondering what she's going to come out and say. I don't think she's
this
made
is
any
gonna do
statements yet.
nothing but wonders for her social media career.
Probably. That's the way these
Nothing
things
but
work.
wonders.
That's the
I
way
don't
these
worry
things
about
work.
that at all. She's and that to me is the true crime. Is she's going to be encouraged by this, both popularity wise and monetarily wise. Probably make up that $500K in a brand deal. It'll be for like University of Phoenix.
Wow. University of Phoenix.
Not
They
good enough for
sponsor all our
USC?
videos now?
Yeah. Sponsored by University of Phoenix.
That's amazing.
You don't need USC.
Yeah, but look, I went to college and I had a really good experience. And I have, when people ask me if they should go to college and, and they're like, well, you can learn everything you need to learn online and on your own and through books. Yeah, but like you don't. You don't work out the same way by yourself that you would if you had a personal trainer. It's not the same. Plus, everything that I learned when I went to college was about competition and how to compete properly in the right ways and be sort of, I don't want to say the smartest guy in the room, but the guy in the room who gets the A, which affected my life greatly. I mean, it really, really did. It really like turned my life around because I didn't grow up in that.
Right.
So I go to college and I go to a really difficult school.
Where?
At Columbia. And once I was there and I learned how it operated, they basically do this thing, at least this is what we were told, where, so if you have 20 students in a classroom, they have a quota. They can only give out like 3 or 4 A's.
Oh, wow.
Total. Right? And
like
then
you have to be the best, literally
the best of the best. And then they can give out like 12 B's, and then the rest can be C's and D's. They can't give any more than that. And every class is essay based, right? With the exception of your math classes and stuff. Every class is essay based. So it's arbitrary. So the teacher can look at these and go, well, this essay was better than this one, and this essay is better than this one. And it's not that you have to get the answers right to everything. Like, when was the War of 1812? 1812. Yeah, we all got it right. We all get an A. It's that you have to be better than everyone else who is also getting it right.
Right.
And that
It's kind of brilliant.
that is the reason why I am any kind of successful and have been any kind of successful, because I learned that.
Yeah, competition is good.
It can be, and the right kind of competition.
Yeah.
And to still be friends with everyone you're competing with, and all this stuff, which some of those students couldn't do. It was a hyper competitive school. It was stupid. It was taboo to talk about your grades. It was weird.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, how dare you ask about my grades?
Like when you're working at a restaurant and you make tips and like you don't want to mention. Some people got really weird about not talking about how much they made. I never was like that. 'Cause
Right.
I was like, yeah, I made this much. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
to me. But yeah, I do a lot of improv comedy, and it's kind of a squishy feely art form where everybody's like nice and everybody's good, and competition is like, yeah, we don't really like that. But then we'll have every once in a while there'll be like an improv tournament. There's no real prize. It's just maybe stage time or a good slot. And inevitably, those shows are better, sharper,
Yeah.
higher quality, better attended, and more energetic. And it just goes like energy and competition brings out the best in people sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Sometimes like I'm much more cooperative as a person than I am competitive. I'd rather work with somebody than against them. And sometimes if competition comes down, I I don't like it. Like I feel like I don't want to have to take from somebody else to be better in myself. But as a group, then I am competitive. Like, hey, let's all do this. You know what I mean? So it's everybody's a little bit different that way. Uh, but yeah, if you think college is just about the classes, then I'm with you. You're wrong. It's culture and defining who you are. And for some people, just living outside of their parents' house for the first time and seeing people who don't look like them and hearing people who talk different than them in different languages,
Yeah.
like for me, I grew up in a small town in New Hampshire that had a very prestigious high school in it. So I went to Exeter Public School, but in Exeter is Phillips Exeter Academy, which is
People outside of the Northeast don't understand what a prestigious high school is,
right.
and I didn't learn that until I lived in New York, and I was like, "Oh, these high schools are like colleges."
It was like Mark Zuckerberg went there, a
Yeah,
bunch of people's daughters
and
were
they're
president.
expensive as fuck.
Yeah. And um as a kid who went to the public junior high, so 7th and 8th grade, obviously high school starts in ninth grade. So, like, I think from our public school junior high, out of like 3,500 kids who lived in the town and paid taxes that supported that school, I think maybe 5 kids got into Phillips Exeter Academy. And it was like the odds of you getting in because you lived in town definitely helped you, you know? But there was kids from all over the world flying from this just to get into high school. So the pressure to get into there is crazy. So I can't imagine I imagine if once they go through the list of all these people who are on, whatever the 50 accusees, I bet you a lot of them are Ivy League schools and like highly big alum schools where it's like your grandfather went here and your father went here, and if you don't get in here, you're gonna ruin the family.
Right. Yeah. Well, the point I was making was, you don't that I'm really big on college because I learned so much about that whole competition thing, and how to do it right, and it really set me on a path to be successful as an adult. But this makes me down on the whole thing, this story.
Yeah.
Because everyone who's been to college knew kids in college who you're like, "How the fuck did you get in here?
How the hell did you
What
sneak
what?
your way in
You
here?
can't even spell."
Yeah. I, I'm a little bit the opposite. I dropped out of college, and my high school was way harder than my college. Like scholastically,
Yeah.
the workload was much more difficult. But what I learned at college was there's resources, you have to get them and use them yourself. Nobody's
Mm.
gonna hold your hand through this. And that was and I met the connections that I still work with today at college. So that was value for me. But it was a state school, so the tuition wasn't that high. And then I dropped out. If I had been paying like some of these schools, I think LMU is like $60,000 a year to go to Loyola. Like some of these schools, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you could literally get a similar experience at a state school, not by yourself, in your dark room on the internet. But there's no reason why you have to go to school in this paradise versus, you know, UMass where I went, where there's just as much resources, for a tenth of the price. It's like that to me is a pressure that colleges put on students that causes scandals like this to happen.
Well, and the fact that we have super expensive colleges in the US,
Yeah.
absurdly expensive. That's another reason why I would discourage people. If I was going to discourage them, I would say, look, I learned everything I needed to learn to make me successful and was able to pay off my student loans. But damn it, if I didn't leave 100 grand in debt.
Yeah. I just did a presentation on this yesterday with my wife, actually, and I learned that the total U.S. student loan debt is $1.5 trillion. That's great. Like that's a significant portion of like the U.S. debt.
Yeah.
You know,
I forget what percentage of all debt it is. It's a lot.
it's crazy. That makes me believe Bernie Sanders. Like everybody should just go to college for free,
I mean,
and also healthcare should be free, and so should cars.
I would love for those things to be a reality. I think we all would. The question is, is that realistic?
Mm,
I don't know.
I
It is for some countries, but is it realistic for us?
Yeah, if you can't, I feel like it's like once a tree starts growing in a certain direction, you can't like change it back to a younger tree again and grow it in a different direction. You have to sort of chop the tree down, plant a new one. I don't know if you could ever get there in the United States. And if you did, like, what would socialist college look like? Like, what would the actual quality of that be?
Socialist college.
Socialist
You
college.
make it sound so draconian.
college.
You must attend your classes.
Communist college. That sounds like
A commercial?
a game, like a band. What's up with communist college?
Oh God, I was thinking more like Third Reich DeVry. They just force you into your classes.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. Like I think it would change
That
the whole
period, we
system.
will make the Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, the safest car. You will drive safely. Yeah, man. That's we'll have to do a follow up on this story to find out like all the different colleges that were involved, the universities that were involved.
Yeah, I saw a list of them, and I remember USC being on the list because that's the one that that Aunt Becky's daughter got into.
Well, USC is a great school.
It's not
amazing.
It's not $500,000 to cheat to get in. Great though. I'm thinking like if you're going to spend that money, aim higher.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. If you want to go to film school, I mean, USC's got but this girl doesn't. She's a social media star.
Again,
But like Spielberg went there. and
$500,000
Lucas,
for film. Also, no parent cheats to get their kid into film school. That's not what they do.
They cheat to get her to like.
Right.
She wants to study mystic poetry,
gender studies, and just no. Like you, if you're gonna push your kid into college like that, you're gonna push him into something that's gonna, I don't know, pay that money back.
Yeah,
Not
like,
some liberal arts.
Imagine if they were studying criminal justice.
Oh God.
And here's my other question: do they get a rebate on the $500K? Like, does that get reduced from the tuition, or it's on top of that?
What? No, the
Like,
middleman gets the $500K.
I would work that. I would work that in my contract. If I would angle hard for that. If I'm Aunt Becky, like, look, I'll give you that $500K up front, but you got to give me a discount on the tuition. Give me a Pell Grant or something.
The middleman didn't work for the college. That's what I'm saying. There was a middleman running the scam.
Yeah.
He didn't work for the college. He took the $500K and got them into college.
Yeah, can I get a free meal
He's the
plan?
one that got busted and then busted everyone else.
Can a brother get a single room?
Not from him, dude. He's probably, they probably took all his money like he was Paul Manafort.
Damn, that guy's all done.
Manafort?
Well, yeah, him too.
Oh, but the middleman.
Yeah.
Well, he sang.
I mean, and here's another thing. Probably he's not. You don't come up with that idea by yourself.
No, I'm sure he had a whole bunch of.
There's probably, for every Walmart, there's a Target. There's probably 5 different guys doing that all over the country, all shitting their pants right now.
Yeah, big time.
They're coming for you.
And I hope they address this other scandal that we know goes on, but that no one says shit about, which is like either pay your college athletes or don't.
Yeah.
But this booster nonsense, that's got to stop. And that happens. I mean, I've known college athletes who are like, yeah, they give you cars, they give you access to this, they give you, like, they can't legally pay you, but they like pay you.
Yeah. And then the students get fucked because they're like, I think they should pay those students, those student athletes, especially in the sports where there's a high likelihood that an injury that you get in college could end your ability to make any money going forward, like football or something.
Yeah.
And they're making millions. Like, how much does the USC Trojans make every year off football tickets when they go to the
Oh, I
Rose
have no
Bowl or
idea.
anything like that. Like the just like the coach of the football team makes way more money than the president of the college.
Yes,
That's so
that's true.
backwards to me.
It was that way in Oklahoma too.
Yeah, that's so backward to me. How can you? What? Why the hell would anybody want to be the president of a college?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Because he can't play football.
yeah,
He's too wimpy to
yeah.
throw a ball.
Get that pigskin, son. Yeah, paying college. I'm sure it would hurt the college's ability to bring as many students as they could. You know, they're making that income off of something, but colleges make money, man.
Yeah,
Especially the
that's a
big
huge
ones.
industry in the U.S.
Yeah,
Big time.
yeah,
Everyone's offering online classes and shit now,
yeah.
which I think is mostly bullshit. But
I couldn't learn that way.
go into the classroom.
Yeah,
Go
please.
in there and sit. Don't just hand them your thousands of dollars and promise them you'll read and not cheat on the test.
Could you imagine trying to be a teacher and you're just teaching to a bunch of like cam girl, or you know what I mean? It's just like that's all you see.
They
is,
don't
like,
even go that
floating
far.
heads.
They just send you a syllabus. Read
Yeah.
this book and this book and this book,
Forget it.
and then we're gonna send you the exam. You take it at home. Promises you won't cheat.
I need that human touch.
Get out of here. All right. Well, it's about that time.
Uh-oh.
Stoner Thoughts.
All right, Stoner. That's guys. It's time. Stoner Thoughts is a game that we play every week, and we celebrate the mind of the stoner, where we read some basically the shower thoughts off the internet, and then we give our take on them. You can play along at home.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to make a bomb.
Stoner Thoughts.
Whoa.
What do we got?
We got in the Olympics. They need to make a section for people who use drugs to test the limits of humanity.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
that would be amazing.
I'm all about it, dude. Let them get as big and strong as they want. I want to see how much a guy can lift when he's on full roids. Like, let's do it.
I feel like, well, my mind immediately goes, there's got to be a comedy sketch there. And then my mind goes, that's probably already been done.
I think maybe Chappelle did it or somebody did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The all steroid track and field.
Yeah.
Please.
I want them all. And I think that the Olympics should deliver the drugs to the athletes so everybody gets the same drugs. So you can't blame it on the drugs. You have to have the same ones. And then like what's the judo gonna look like now?
I want to see the meth head pole vaulting.
They go, I don't give a shit. They just put some meth at the top.
They like the record is like 4 feet. Like they don't get very far at all.
He scrambles up the pole, doesn't give a shit. Yeah, man. How far could Michael Phelps swim if he was like jacked out on roids? Like he's gonna be like beating a dolphin.
Yeah, I don't know. He'd just have huge arms, tiny legs. I don't know.
You ever seen that guy? I read this
To
article.
be fair, he did smoke weed, so.
Yeah. I read an article about athletes and how they've changed and gotten more specialized in the last like 75, 80 years. And it showed in like 1940 or 30 or something what the average Olympic gold medalist looked like. And the body type for our Olympic gold medalist was just like a medium, sort of normal, like the medium guy in a video game, you know? And so like boxers looked about the same as sprinters, looked about the same as gymnasts. They all were just like sort of medium muscular people. And now it's like breeding dogs, how specialized it's got between like somebody who's good at Olympic basketball versus somebody who's a bobsledder versus somebody who's a gymnast. It's crazy how specialized it's got. And it's just by intention and breeding. Now, if you put drugs into that, now we're going to have some fun.
Now we're talking. Now that's entertainment. Can't wait.
Stoner Thoughts.
A university degree is an indication of a discipline and commitment rather than knowledge and intelligence. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like a stoner thought. That sounds like a very lucid thought.
Yeah, discipline. That's why you got to go to college. Like, get up and do something that you wouldn't do normally. Like, show up to class and read a book you wouldn't normally read. Do shit you don't want to do. It builds character. Starting to sound like my grandpa.
Yeah, I'm sort of on that board. I'm not great at that. I'm more of an Epicurean.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, if I were advising people, I would say do the shit you don't want to do because it builds character.
Yeah,
It
but
makes it
I don't like
easier.
bananas. I'm not going to eat a banana just because it builds character.
Well, but you've tried bananas.
Yeah, and I don't like them.
Also, but you might get out and mow the lawn or something like that, or you wake up at a decent hour, or you go fucking exercise, or you eat a better diet than you normally would. Because it's not only because it's better for you, but
I don't like it's like a means to an ends thing for me. If I mow the lawn and I don't like mowing the lawn, it's because I like the result. But if I didn't like the result, I wouldn't mow the lawn. Like, I make my bed in the morning
why?
because it calms me. And I don't like, and like, I enjoy that. You know what I mean? But if that didn't have that result, I probably wouldn't make my bed. You don't make your bed in the morning?
I not in the
You
morning,
slob.
but I do make my bed.
Oh, good.
I do make my
You
bed
make
every
it
day.
at night? You make it and then jump in?
Well, there are more times of the day than morning, sir. No, I wake up and I work, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm like that. And then sort of later in the day when I'm like, okay, I've done all of my work for the morning, I'll go up and like make the bed.
Eh.
I don't run on your schedule, sir.
Ray, you're grounded.
Damn it.
Stoner thoughts.
Women who use sex toys are seen as open-minded and sexually liberated. Men who use sex toys are seen as creeps and perverts.
Aw. That gets more of an aw. What about men who use sex toys on girls?
Then maybe that would be her sex toy. I don't know. I didn't see a lot of nuance in this one. I just agreed with it.
I feel like the toys are the same, though, aren't they? Like, well, no, I guess
You're
they
asking
aren't.
the wrong guy.
Oh.
But no, but I see that like if a woman buys a vibrator,
Right.
it's seen as okay and
Liberating.
liberating.
Owning yourself.
If a guy gets on Amazon and buys a fleshlight, then it's seen as like a little pervy or a sex doll or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. I think you're right. I don't think it should be that way. I think that's a double standard. But
Yeah, it is a double standard, but I'm just saying it's true.
It's called a double standard because it's twice as nice.
What?
I just think that like where porn and all that stuff is going, like VR and headsets like that, it's just gonna get more and more. Like they have sex toys now that react to each other over Wi-Fi signals and things. So pretty soon it's all just gonna be robots. that you
Just
can have
robots reacting to robots?
No robots you can have sex.
They don't even need us
Yeah,
anymore?
they won't. They won't.
That would be funny. Like the humankind finally builds like a fully functional sex robot that will almost like seek you out.
Yeah.
You know, like that whole thing, like we're in that realm. And what the robots eventually learn as they become more self-aware is that they like the other robots better. And they just cut us out completely.
Dude, it's gonna happen.
We're like the discarded ex-wife or something like that.
It's only a matter of time before AI becomes cognizant and they'll eliminate us. They'll just breed us out.
They just robots do.
I mean, how long until you can have a robot that gets pregnant for you, like that just
on your
holds-
behalf?
No, that holds the body. You know what I mean? Like what do you call that when a woman carries your baby for you?
Surrogate.
Yeah, like a surrogate robot, like an incubator that with all the parts.
That'd be nice. I mean, I don't plan on having kids,
Then
but
it's the Matrix. Then you just wake
right,
up.
it is.
Yeah.
You grow them on a farm.
Oh God. Next one. Do the next one. I'm getting scared.
Stoner thoughts.
Pickup artists and garbage men need to switch titles.
Yeah. Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
You see how clever that is?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
So you're saying a pickup artist is a garbage person?
Yes. Someone who sort of a Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother, someone who relishes in the fact that he can pick up women is a garbage person, and a person who picks up your trash and sanitation is a pickup artist.
Yeah. A sanitary
Sanitation engineer.
artisan, a sanitation engineer.
Sanitation and engineer.
There you go.
That's what it is.
There you go. All
You
right.
see?
I'm part of it.
I don't have a high opinion of pickup artists. I think they're sleazy. And I also think they're full of shit.
Yeah, I think it's
Show me a pickup artist and I'll show you a liar.
I think it's hurtful. I don't have any problem with people being promiscuous and having, do your thing. But I do feel like the term pickup artist infers manipulation, and I don't like it. I don't like
Right.
it. Nope. What do you call a person who is able to have multiple sexual partners, consensual sexual partners? What's the difference between that and a pickup artist?
Okay, so a pickup artist brags and sort of what do they call it? Wallers in the fact that they can pick up all these women with ease.
And stats and things.
Yeah,
like
it's really the bragging about it. You can have sex with whoever you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't be a douchebag about it.
Yeah.
Don't hurt other people, and don't put other people down while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And pickup artists do all of that. In fact, they do it through lies.
Yeah. I remember that TV show called
I
The
can
Pickup
get
Artist.
I can conjure up a lie, to get Katie's grandma to believe that she has a tumor. That doesn't make me a genius. It makes me a liar.
Yeah, it makes you a manipulative, like persuasive person.
Yeah. Sorry, Katie. I'm going for really colorful.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're lucky my grandma has a really good sense of humor.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
There was that TV show called The Pickup Artist. You remember that?
No, you were telling me about that though.
There was this guy, and he wrote this book about how to pick up women, and it was called The Pickup Artist, and it was a very popular book, and it was all these techniques, and he had all these terms that were like scientific sounding, like opening a set and peacocking, and there was all these subtly manipulative things that he would train you to do in order to pick up women, and it worked. It was very effective, and then they made a TV show out of it, and they showed. It was like, look at all these nerds who have never had sex with women, and I'm gonna be there. It was almost like Bar Rescue for these dudes, and then they put them in bars and did it like a reality show, and it was just so sleazy.
Yeah.
It was so sleazy. Like, one of the things was like, give a girl a sort of backhanded compliment so that it looks like you're complimenting her, but you're subtly like reducing her status so that she feels like she has to fill some void in order to perk that status back up. And like, don't hit on the hottest girl in a crew, hit on the second hottest girl so
Oh
that
my
the
goodness.
hottest girl feels like she has to compete. All this really shitty stuff.
Yeah, you know what it's called? It's called negging.
Negging
Is when
Yeah.
you say it's an act of emotional manipulation whereby a person makes a deliberate backhanded compliment or otherwise flirtatious remark to another person to undermine their confidence
Yeah.
and
Right.
increase their need for the manipulator's approval.
Yeah.
Or you could just be a really good person that has qualities that people are attracted to.
Sure.
That could also work.
Yeah.
I imagine that wasn't in the
I
book.
think it'll land you pretty squarely in the friend zone for a few years, but how?
Yeah, but not with everyone.
yeah.
That's the thing. People complain about friend zone. You, me, every guy. You're in the friend zone with most women you meet. You just don't think about it like that because you're not trying to get in their pants. It's only when a girl you like rejects you or puts you in the friend zone or whatever that you start crying about it.
Yeah, when she wants you for one thing and you want her for another thing.
Right.
Well, I think it's also like the thing about pickup artists that makes them assholes is if you're a really nice person, you get attached to people easier.
Yeah.
So you become more of a serial monogamist. So you can't have multiple partners. So in order to like break it off, and I think the online dating has changed this quite a bit, but back in my day, you have to like kind of be a dick in order to be like, yeah, I'm fucking other people. It's kind of it takes a little bit of a psychopath to say that emotionlessly, especially when you share something very intimate like that. And like, again, I think it's changing a lot because of now dating is just like a farm feed, cattle, whatever.
Yeah, it's cattle call.
And it's that work's being done for you almost,
All right, I'm about to write a whole book on the new pickup artist, okay?
Okay.
By Ray William Johnson. Here it is. Here's the secret. Everyone, you ready for the secret?
Oh, I'm so
This is the secret. This is how you find a really good partner, okay? Get one of those dating apps. Go on as many dates as you can stomach. As many as you can. 100, 200, maybe only 10. I don't know, 500. Just keep going on dates until, get this, you find someone who you like and they also like you back. It's a fucking numbers game. If you just keep doing it, the odds are in your favor. That's it. That's all you have to do. And here's the great part. You can be yourself. You can be yourself on these dates. And if the people aren't into you, well, then maybe the next one will be.
But what about the too many fish in the sea philosophy where you're always looking for perfection when there's so many options? The very second something's not perfect, you're on to the next one. And that's not how relationships work. But these dating apps.
Well, that's a relationship problem, not a dating problem.
No, but that's how you start.
If your goal is to pick someone up, then that's it. That's all you have to do. Keep going on dates until you find someone who likes you and you like them. And you will easily pick them up. And guess what? You won't be a dick about it. You'll both mutually agree that you're gonna go in this romantic direction.
Right.
Now, what you do after that is on you. If you find flaws in them or whatever and you want to go on more dates, fine. It'll eventually get old.
Yeah. That must have been exhausting.
No, it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, no, it was great. It was a lot of fun. But go on, and I was giving that advice when I was back when I was on dating apps. I was giving advice to my friends when they would complain about dating. I'd be like, get on an app. It's the new thing.
I thought you were gonna say go on all these dates and then delete the app from your phone and go on a date without the app, and then it'll be like you
Nope.
have superpowers.
Dates without the app and dates with the app, same thing.
Yeah.
It's that when you go on a date with the app,
Well,
you have access to more dates.
yeah.
That's it.
I'm
So it's a numbers game.
okay.
That's all it is. In fact, all it's doing is speeding up what's happening in life. When you're dating in life, where you're like, oh, I guess I'll go on a date every couple of months because that's all I'm really meeting. You know, there's the checkout girl at the grocery store, and then there's what's her name from accounting at work, and then there's homegirl's sister from church, and that's all I really know. Dating app just widens that pool by a lot. So
Way.
instead of those 3 women, you have access to hundreds of women.
And even more specific, like farmers only or whatever. Like I only want to date, rap people, or I only want to date people who are Republican or Democratic.
Yes.
You can narrow that down. You can probably narrow those things down with the filters inside of the app.
There's a dating app for clowns,
Ah!
like literal clown performers. There's a dating app for every race. There's a dating app for like little persons.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean that actually makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's all that is the trick now. Just go on dates.
Yeah.
Just do it. Put yourself in that position.
All right. We got to move on.
Okay. Sorry, I go on that all day. Anyway.
Stoner thoughts.
Hidden inside every skyscraper is a continuous waterfall of human excrement falling down to the sewers below.
Oh, that's so true.
I thought you'd like that one.
Oh no.
I thought you'd like that one.
unhear that. I can't unhear that.
Every
Oh,
building.
No.
Every
just
building. Yeah.
forever. Somebody's always in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Imagine if it had to come up someplace and just be like, like a geyser someplace.
That building where you
God.
found your dream job, that building where you met your wife,
Yeah.
those walls too.
Just sliding,
Mhm.
slippery down the pipes.
Yep.
Oh,
Just a
God.
mudslide of anyway.
Stoner thoughts.
You're successful in life when you're assassinated instead of murdered.
Wow.
Yeah, only powerful men get assassinated.
Yeah.
And women, I suppose.
The definition of murder is like what, wrongful death?
I think it's intentional death.
Right, but like what if you attack me and I kill you in self-defense, did I still I guess I still murdered you.
Well, it's manslaughter. I mean, are we talking about the general definition or the legal definition?
Yeah, like if like is it murder, like war? If you're at war, is it still defined as murder when you're killing? Obviously it's like a casualty or whatever, but by definition, what is the definition of murder, Katie? Oh God.
Oh, boy.
We're gonna find out the definition of murder. I'm looking right now.
That sounds like an A&E crime show.
Yeah.
The definition of murder.
Anyway, if you get if people say you were assassinated,
Yeah.
it means you were
You were a governor
successful,
or something like
or
that.
you were the what was the
Yeah.
Versace?
John Lennon.
Oh my gosh, John Lennon. R.I.P.
Right. John Lennon was assassinated. OJ's
Ah.
wife not assassinated.
Right.
Right.
Murdered.
Okay.
Murder.
Definition of murder, dictionary.com. The killing of another human being under conditions specifically covered in law.
So that's the legal definition.
Okay. It's a
That's a
legal
legal
thing.
definition. And then the verb would be to kill by an act constituting murder, to kill or slaughter inhumanely or barbarously.
Barbarously.
Yeah. They're getting a little broad.
Yeah. So it's a legal term.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope I get assassinated if I ever get murdered. I hope it's assassination.
I guess there's like
I
special.
kind of hope that for you too.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
there's like first degree murder versus second degree murder, and obviously
Sure.
that's more legal stuff.
Yeah,
So it's
okay.
hard to say.
It's a legal term.
Yeah. All right.
Stoner
The most iconic villain in Indiana Jones is a large rock.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's so
Yeah.
true. I love that one, but yeah, kind of.
I dig it.
Stoner
Hot sauce is just sexy ketchup.
Ooh, it is sexy.
I put hot sauce on everything.
Yeah. I mix hot sauce with my ketchup.
Oh, nice. I used to mix it, get this, with my mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And dip
Spicy mayo?
Yeah,
Oh,
spicy
yeah.
mayo. It
I'm
was
on that
very
train.
European. Dip my fries in it, and
I'm on that train.
yeah, it was good.
Yep.
Also good for you.
What broke me, I got jumped into hot sauce by pizza. I put hot sauce
Jumped
on
in?
pizza.
Like they beat you in.
Yeah, I got jumped in.
Yeah.
And then it was hot sauce on everything.
4 pizza men stood
Yeah.
around you
Look, we can
and
do
beat you down. Right. We can fuck you in or we can beat you in.
Yeah, I'm always gonna get beat in.
Yeah. All right, you ready to take some calls,
Yeah.
man?
You ready for some calls?
You ready for some calls?
We've been taking calls from you guys out there in the universe about certain topics every week, and we just sort of chat about them. It's really nice to hear from you, and it's nice to hear your voices. So last week we asked you to call in and tell us your craziest parental stories.
Yeah, call us and tell us how crazy your parents are. That was last week. Let me go ahead and give you the number just so you guys will have it. 321-222-3179. Next week we will do call us and ask us for advice on something. It could be relationship, work related. It could be something with your parents, some romantic relationship, some friend relationship. Call us and ask us for advice. That'll be fun.
What's that number again?
That is 321-222-3179.
Yeah.
Call, leave your first name, your age, and a short message asking for advice. About a minute or two long.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's take this first call. What do we got? This is Billy, 19 years old.
Yo, guys, it's Billy Mays here. I wanted to say what's up to you guys. Also, my crazy parent story is way back. I was adopted because my parents ran with gang members, and like they sold meth and all that. It was a very like bad environment for kids and all that. And then and one of the stories from that is like I was hanging out with my dad at the time, and he was hanging out with his friends. I was really young and I saw them as friends, and they might have been gang members, and yeah, and and he gives me a real gun. Like I remember it because I remember seeing it and thinking it was so cool because video games and stuff, and I thought it was super cool, and I was playing with it for a long time, and then I didn't pull the trigger or anything. I don't know why, but then when I was pointing it at just things, I turned around to my dad and he got mad at me because I was pointing a gun at him, but I didn't realize it. But it was loaded, so that's my crazy story. It was loaded. That's about it. All right, peace, guys. By the way, I'm 19, and happy ending to the story as I'm now adopted to a very nice family. The system worked. I'm in college, having a good life. So, yeah, thanks for the podcast, guys, and deuces.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So that had a happy ending. That was nice.
Yeah, I'm so glad he said that.
Yeah, me too.
At the end, everything's
me
okay.
too.
I love that his name is Billy Mays.
Of course.
Yeah.
Maybe he made that up. I don't know.
Yeah. But if he was a good salesman of that story, we'll know why.
So Billy had his biological parents were gang members.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess his dad had a loaded gun when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I can't remember how old he said he was, if he said it, and then gave him the gun. And I guess he's waving it around all willy-nilly, even pointing at... And his dad thinks it's fine until he points it at his dad.
Yeah. Well, I love that his dad thinks it's fine to hand the son the pointed gun and
Yeah.
then gets mad that the kid points it at him. Like, what did you think was going to happen? He's going to point it at something. Guns are pointy. They're for pointing.
Yeah, it's exactly what they're for.
I bet he handed it to him because, like, there was a cop around or something where, he couldn't have incriminating evidence on him. So.
Oh, well, you're reaching now. I think he was probably high and being a dumbass.
And just like, here hold this.
People do dumb things. The thing is, here's what it is. So, gang members and people like Billy's dad, they don't make sense.
Right.
It makes sense if you have a loaded weapon and a cop comes around and then you're like, shit, I got to get rid of this loaded weapon. Let me hand it to my kid. That won't look suspicious.
It wasn't me, officer. It was my kid.
The logic behind that idiocy actually makes sense to me because he's trying to cover his ass. What doesn't make sense to me, and probably what was more likely to happen, is they're like, let me look at my kid with his gun, guys.
Right.
Look at him. Doesn't he look badass?
Jeez, I'm saying this guy probably wouldn't have passed my kid test.
No.
This guy was any gang member not allowed to get their tubes untubed.
Untubed.
Not allowed. Your dude tubes are going to be tied still. I'm so glad that the system worked, though. You don't hear that very much.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm in college now. I had a great adoptive parents.
Yeah. Parents adopted him.
Shout
taught
out
him the
to
right
that.
way.
Yeah. Shout out to the adoption agency that held that down.
Well, he's listening to us, so he's doing something
Yeah, he's
right.
got to be a smart, bright kid.
Yeah, of course.
Gotta be
Genius,
smart.
really. Have to be.
Nuts. He didn't mention what kind of a gun it was. I have to assume it
A
was
handgun, I'm sure.
yeah, but probably not a revolver. Probably like a, you know,
Something that would have knocked him on his ass if
yeah,
his 8-year-old self would have fired it or however old he was.
yeah. Jesus, that is scary.
Yeah, so, I grew up in Oklahoma, and they gave us guns when we were kids, like 22s,
Yeah,
and we would go around and shoot.
yeah.
Like, we'd shoot bottles and shoot at squirrels and
It's the culture. You just
sort
do
of
it.
on the this wasn't in the city. This was like, anytime this happened, there'd be a house, and there wasn't another house for how,
But there was no supervision. There was no like, this is how you do it. This is how you train with this. This is how the safety works. You just like,
not really.
yeah,
Not that was my bad side of the family. The good side of the family gave us BB guns, so it was a little better. And we
how you
did the
judge?
same thing.
We had BB guns and then
shot bottles and squirrels.
yeah, bottles, squirrels, birds.
Sometimes each other
yeah,
because we were stupid.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Grew up with guns, and I'm still like, don't give your kid a gun. They should have never given us guns.
Yeah. I it's like more people who have guns get killed by guns, but of course they do because they have guns. Like more people with pools drowned,
Yes.
But having a gun around when you have kids running around, it's just not. I get you want to protect the house and stuff, but it's also the same thing with like a gun safe. It's like, I guess takes a little longer to get it out of the safe, and if you're in a crazy situation, it needs to be you have to get it fast. But like, what are you gonna do? Keep it in the drawer? They have safes that open so fast right now. People are like, no, you don't keep a gun in a safe because when push comes to shove, the safe is gonna be the thing that they get that extra time to kill you. You're like, really? You're gonna get it out of the drawer, wherever the hell, out of your sock drawer, just as fast, and there's no socks in the way in the safe. It's just the gun.
Dude, my grandpa had the sort of equivalent of a drawer gun, but it was underneath the double mattress in the bed, and so he could reach in case, because he was old school, and so he would reach in case like anyone broke in, which like never happened.
Right.
And we discovered that one day because we got in serious trouble, my brothers and I, for jumping on the bed
Oh,
because we had no idea, and my grandmother like, tore our ass. However
It was
you
your
say it.
grandmother who yelled at you.
Yeah, my who like never yelled, was like, "Don't you ever jump on that bed again." Here's why.
Well, what happens if grandma and grandpa are like getting busy?
I don't
I know
like
you
to
don't wanna
believe they
picture that.
ever had. No, I don't think they ever did.
Didn't happen.
Nope, not them. They were way too Puritan.
Hopefully, they didn't move very much while they slept.
All right, this is Robert, 26.
Hi, I'll say I'm Robert, 26, and so my dad was a science teacher, and this was after I graduated, so I didn't know too much what was going on, but I knew that he had gotten fired, and then later I come to find out that the reason he got fired was because he was doing a little physics lesson that involved smashing a cinder block with a sledgehammer on a student's chest. So, yeah, that's what happened. Thanks.
What? Kind of a brief little story there. So his dad was a science teacher. His dad got fired because he was doing a physics experiment where he would put a cinder block on a student's chest and smash it with a sledgehammer.
I mean, I got to agree with the school on that
yeah,
choice.
I'm gonna lean towards the school on this.
I got to
It's
agree.
questionable at best.
I feel like I bet you there's something there though where like, because I feel like I've seen magic tricks like that where something about how the cinder block is made up and that it actually doesn't protrude the force through your body or something. It's more like less of an experiment and more of an example, you know. But let's not use the students, please. Or like, who volunteers for that? I need a brave audience volunteer, and I'm talking real brave, right? Now. I'm talking real brave.
All right, I'll select someone. Billy, you've been talking all day.
Yeah, exactly. Hey there, Lippy Jim, get up here.
Right.
Man.
Sir, can I have a hall pass? You can, but I'm gonna need you to do this experiment first.
Yeah. The principal walks into the classroom. You're like, wait, I can explain. Here's what happens. Jeez.
Wow.
Man.
That's a bummer.
They're testing bulletproof vests in class.
Well, I wonder if Robert's dad got a job after that in teaching. Or did he go into the private sector? Is that what happens?
Yeah, right. I think that sometimes those schools are really buddy about that, where if you get fired, they don't put it on your record because they know that if you do, you'll never get hired again. So
Right.
they just go like, dude, like we're not gonna. You're fired. First of all, you're fired, but we're not gonna put this on your record. But Jesus,
Yeah. Come on, man.
yeah, Christ. I had some teachers get like, years later came out that like were just like had porn in his desk the whole time he was teaching us class. He was like our health teacher, and like he was just like a dirty old man, and
What kind of porn? Like video
magazine,
cassettes?
like Penthouse and stuff like that.
Magazine.
Yeah, just
Okay.
all up in his desk. And he was like the wrestling coach and the health coach.
What the hell? Why do you need it in your desk?
I don't know. Why do you bring it to school? Who knows? Maybe so he doesn't have it at his house because his wife or whatever.
Yeah, but which is worse?
I
getting
mean,
caught by your job or getting caught by your wife?
dude. I know.
Also, if those, I'm just like we talked about in the beginning of the podcast, if those are the consequences of having porn, you either get fired or lose your wife, then ditch the porn.
Good God, right?
What-
Gravy. Yeah, and it came out so many years later. And the fact that he was our health teacher was just so creepy because we were talking about sex, with that guy.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, nobody was, well, as far as I know, nobody was like, no other allegations came out about him and students or anything like that. It was just a creepy old guy with porn in his desk.
Well, at least he knew the ins and outs of intercourse. Clearly.
The ins and outs.
Clearly. Okay, this is Maddie, 24. Maddie's called in before. She was the one whose parents got into a fight and her mom hit her dad with a VCR.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
So she's got a follow-up.
She got the follow-up?
Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Maddie. I'm 24, and I'm actually the person that called in with the VCR story a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty clear that I have a bunch of these. So here's a little more information about my parents, I guess. So when my mom first asked out my dad, the first thing my dad said was, and I apologize if anyone is offended by this word, he goes, "Oh, I thought you were a dyke. Huh." And for some reason, that wasn't enough for my mom to just be like, "Ooh, never mind." But ironically enough, my dad once asked my mom about becoming swingers with their friends because it was obvious he had a thing for their female friend or something. And this pissed my mom off so much that she said, "Sure." And then proceeded to hook up with said female friend and was all like, "You didn't specify which one." But yeah, on another occasion, when they got into a fight after they split up and my dad hit her, she just laughed at him and said, and I quote, "Is that how hard you hit? So-and-so hits me harder during sex." And, that's such a lovely thing to know about your mom. But yeah, that's a little more of an insight on my totally sane and not embarrassing parents. But yeah, thanks so much for the advice on the last episode. I really appreciated it. Love your show, guys. Bye.
So whatever the game is, she wins.
Right?
Yeah.
What a clapback.
Yeah.
That she belongs on Wild and Out or something with
Well, no, I meant Maddie wins for having.
Oh, I was talking about Maddie's mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she sounds so sane for a person who grew up amongst such chaos.
That was not okay. So when her parents met, her mom, I guess, was hitting on her dad, and her dad said, "Oh, I thought you were a lesbian."
Yeah.
In more colorful language.
Yeah.
And then what was the other? Oh, then he wanted to, when they were a couple, he wanted to swing with
swingers
with another couple.
Yeah.
And the wife said sure, and then the wife slept with the other woman.
Yeah.
Because
without the dude.
Right, because the guy didn't specify, just to like stick it to him, I guess.
Just to stick it to him.
And then I guess in one fight later, he hits her, and she says such and such hits harder during sex.
That's the one that
really
I love.
Sting it.
That sounds like a Jean-Claude Van Damme quote or some shit like that. Like in like Cinderella Man, like you get punched as hard as you can, just smiles at you. Like, wow, how do you have the presence of mind to say that in the moment? You got to be a real badass.
That's some chaos.
Yeah.
That everything I've heard about Maddie's parents' relationship, the poor girl, is absolute chaos.
Yeah. I got so much love for her, man. She sounds like she's somehow came through okay. I mean, I don't know her. I just know what her voice on the phone sounds like.
I still suspect her picker might be off. I know we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
Where she's got to be careful who she dates.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be off for a while.
Yeah, that's our advice to you, Maddie. Is be careful of your picker. Like, talk to people about it. Maybe some professional people, just in case, just to do due diligence. Sometimes I take Advil just in case. Like, you never know what your day is going to happen. You just take something just in case. I feel like
so just talk to someone just in case.
I think therapy is good like that. You stack it up, so when you need it, you've had that on the back burner, and it goes into effect.
Therapy would be really good for her considering the story she's told us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even think that's a just in case. That's a like,
Yeah.
hey, this would be really good. You need to unravel some of that stuff.
Yeah.
The stories are very entertaining, but also very damaging.
Yeah. Jeez. Man. Yeah. That's a crazy lifestyle. That is a crazy ass story.
You got any insight on Maddie's story, Katie?
Well, she called in on
Yeah.
episode 37. We already gave her advice. So it was cool that she was able to thank you guys. I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like her family's really messed up. I don't know if I have much feedback. I just feel bad for her.
Yeah, I
You
wonder.
know?
I wanted the hey, but I'm okay now. I work. I'm a lawyer now. And
Yeah. No, we
everything's
didn't get
okay.
that.
We didn't get
We
that.
didn't get that.
That was more for us.
Yeah.
Than for her.
I don't know. She definitely needs a lot of therapy. Or I don't know if she needs it, but I would strongly suggest it.
I would too.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be president one day. Maybe she's like that strong of a girl that like this is what made her overcome everything, and
Well,
like any normal human being would be killed off by that chaos, but she's a special person.
well, no, then she'd be taken down by the audio clip of her saying the derogative
Right.
word for
And
lesbian.
that would be the thing.
That would be her downfall.
Yeah.
It's like the old tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she sounds fairly well adjusted. So maybe you're right. Maybe she will be president.
Well, I can tell you this much. There's a lot of value, Maddie, in you being able to see all of that and call it for what it is, which is absolute craziness.
Yeah.
Like
And-
she can identify it and say, okay, that's not normal. That's why she's calling in talking about it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
We're on the right track.
And there's probably some rock in her life, like somebody in her life that's solid and strong that she was able to.
Grandparent, an aunt,
Somebody.
something like that. Yes.
Maddie's in the chat. Normally I wouldn't chime in, but it's fun because she's in the chat. She said, I am okay, happy face. I've made sure not to turn into my parents.
That's
Aw,
good.
Thanks, Maddie. Appreciate you making us feel better about your life.
I know. I'm getting worried here. Jeez.
Wow. Well, cool. So what next week is? Do we got one more?
We got one more. We'll blow
Nice.
through it really quick.
Okay, cool.
We have one more. This is Sean, 23.
Hey guys, Sean, 23. Love your podcast. Gonna make this quick. The craziest thing my parents have done was about a week ago. My mom called me, full-blown emergency, thinking that she's going to the hospital. And I show up to her job, me and my sister, we both leave work and rush to her. And she's like, oh, I left my phone at home. Can one of you go get it? Completely pissed both of us off.
Yeah.
So now whenever our mom calls for an emergency, we're hesitant to show up. Well, that's just my story. Peace, guys.
All right. That was a quick light one from
Oh,
Sean.
Man, it's just it's an emergency.
That's some shit my mom would do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, she would call us in from the other room to be like, hand me the remote. Like that kind of stuff. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like I would get like the excuse of like you're a kid, you have all sorts of energy, so you can get the remote or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm old and tired. Oh, mom.
My phone, what is it? My phone died.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I lost my phone. Like, what do you?
It's an emergency.
No, they're good kids. Like Sean and his sister, they're good kids. They panicked the way you should, and they took off work. Like, we got to go help mom.
Man.
It just turns out she needs a phone upgrade.
I was just pranking them. Like, gotcha. She's got a camera on. Gotcha.
Just a prank, bro.
Oh man, she turns into one of those parent prankers.
Oh God.
Those people are the worst. The parent prankers.
Parents who prank their kids.
Oh God, we did that like early on. In this podcast, we did.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on with them. We should do a review one day.
Oh yeah. This is what
They took the kids away. They took the kids away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're lucky your kids didn't get taken away from you, lady.
He's 23 years
I
old.
No more favors from your son.
All right, man. Let's call it.
Yeah,
It's getting a
we
little
should wrap
warm in
it up.
here.
Yeah, it is. It's turning to summer here in Los Angeles. March is summer. Sorry for all y'all who are out there in the Midwest and in the cold. So we got next week calling in with advice. Give
Yeah.
us a call about advice.
Call about advice. Leave your name, your first name, your number, and about a 1 to 2 minute story or whatever question asking us for advice on a specific thing. It could be relationship advice, friend advice, parent advice, whatever. Work, maybe someone at work
Yeah.
doing a thing. You
And
call 321-222-3179.
We will give you the perspective of a straight white male heterosexual And hopefully you'll overcome your problems. So 43506, that's the number of the text, the word Kings to, if you want to get a text about us when we go live every week. So stay in touch that way, and we'll send you a text when we go live.
All right,
Every Wednesday
guys.
at noon.
We'll see you next Wednesday at noon. Stay around for the chat.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah. Let's dance, let's dance, let's dance.